Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Balls in Your Face podcast. I am your host, or we're all your hosts, but my name is Azil Hernandez.
It's your boy Josh Ramos in the building.
What's up? I'm Christian Rivera.
And today, we got a special topic for you guys. Today, we're going to be talking about two sport athletes, not one, but two.
Oh, okay. It's my turn.
Yeah. I'm trying to, you see the eye contact. I'm trying to transition to you now.
Oh, okay. If you guys didn't see the other episode, Super Bowls. No. NBA All-Star. We talked about eye contact, so you got to tune in. But two sport athletes. I mean, some of the most important ones: Bo Jackson and Dion Sanders. Probably the most popular, the most successful in the two sports. But also Michael Jordan, Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson. Tim Tebow, he was upcoming. Those are just some of the names. We're gonna dive into each one. Do you know any more? I'm trying to think of off the top.
So obviously there's a lot of two sport athletes, but when we're talking about two sport athletes, we're talking about mainly just professional sports.
Yeah.
That they made an attempt at both. Obviously we already know, your boy Aaron Judge, he played football in high school.
All right.
We're talking about
listen. I'm just saying.
I'm talking about professional, but we're talking about...
My boy Josh is an athlete. He played high school.
But listen.
He tore his ACL.
But listen, we know.
Never the same.
We know that a lot of these athletes could play multiple sports, but obviously it's different when you can accomplish playing both.
Exactly.
When you look at like a lot of tight ends in the National Football League, they played basketball as well. So respectively, they might be able to, but let's just talk about the people that actually were able to conquer both sports.
So before we go into that, when we talk about two sport athletes, it seems like the most common combination is baseball and football.
Probably the baseball is like the easiest on the body.
That, and I think obviously we're talking about professional, so scheduling, it makes it a little bit different. Baseball goes through summertime. Obviously, that's the NFL off season. So you got that into play. So yeah, so the most of them are going to be football and baseball. I got another one for you. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. He was drafted in the MLB. He was a catcher.
I did not know that.
Tom Brady? I was like, who the hell are you saying?
You're like, why are you saying
is that Tom Brady's dad? No.
He was drafted by the Expos. He was a catcher.
I did not know that.
He was the last living drafted player by the Expos, or the last professional sports player drafted by the Montreal Expos.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But now he is not, since he is retired. And if you haven't seen that video, go watch it. It's on our page.
He was a catcher. He has a catcher's body.
That's crazy.
He's pretty stout.
All right. I'm not gonna.
Catchers don't have a body. They can be fat. They can be skinny. Yeah. I mean, look at Christian Vasquez and look at Ryan Lavarnway. That's
not a throwback.
No, but
Red Sox catcher.
I was just comparing two catchers. I was thinking of somebody else. I forgot what his name was. But yeah, I mean, the biggest names that you always hear of is Bo Jackson, Dion Sanders, just because they did it. They did it the best. That was back in the 90s. Had to be.
Yeah, when I bring them two up, it's because those two were.
Yeah, I have one of Dion Sanders cards somewhere, and it's him. On the field, and then like on the football field, and it's like one of those holographic cards, and you like move it, and he's on the baseball field.
Okay, gotcha.
I think that's pretty cool. That's how I first knew about him. I just found someone gave me the card somehow, some way. But we got a whole list of the people. But Bo Jackson, Bo Jackson, he played for the Royals, probably most memorable for the Royals.
To me, he has to be out of like the two sport athletes. He's like the GOAT of the two sport athletes.
For sure.
Because obviously he was a NFL Pro Bowler at running back, and he was a All-Star in baseball. So to me, like when you talk about two sport, like I feel like he's the top notch. What everyone else is trying to reach.
Was it him or Dion that like played a game and then like the next day?
That was Dion.
That was Dion
in the World Series.
Yeah.
Dion's crazy for that.
That's GOAT right there.
He almost played Super Bowl and World Series around the same time. I heard something like that.
So that's something big right there. I mean, those two guys are by far on the top, though. I mean, but going to Michael Jordan, he played not professional baseball. Well, you could say professional baseball, but it wasn't top tier professional MLB. But he retired from basketball to go to baseball. So technically, he's not two-way. Yeah. I guess you could say.
And he never
in the sense that Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders played
because they did it year round.
Yeah, exactly.
They're training for the football season, and that's coming to a close, and they're going straight into baseball. So I can see what you're talking about with that two-way. I would still I would still put Jordan up there, and the reason I still put him up there because it's, he was still training for basketball. So I know he technically retired, but he was able to transition to baseball.
Do you think he was really training for basketball, or that was just his included training with baseball?
I think a combination of both, because when he came back,
So you think he was shooting shots like after he left baseball practice?
oh yeah,
I
think so.
I don't think there's no way, bro.
You know, just
How long did you play baseball for?
it was less than 2 seasons.
Exactly.
Yeah, but my thing is that the main reason why you don't put him up there is because he didn't have that success in baseball.
Yeah, he didn't
like that,
make
bro.
it to
He really
play
didn't.
with the White Sox because that was the team that he played for, right? The
It
minor
was,
league.
it was
Yeah.
the minor league of the White Sox.
So if he would have played for the White Sox, I think that would have made it completely different.
And even transitioning to Russell Wilson, like Russell Wilson was drafted, and I believe the same
I
argument
think it
can be
was
made for Kyler
9th
Murray.
round,
He was drafted to the Yankees.
4th round draft pick.
Yeah, he was actually, that's a pretty high draft pick, especially in baseball too. So
Yeah,
he was
but-
a 4th round pick.
Yeah, but Kyler Murray
Even when you
was
go to
9th
Kyler Murray,
overall.
he was 9th overall in the draft. He's
So-
not playing at all. So it's like,
Yeah, the A's just, I don't know what they were thinking. Why would you draft
So-
Kyler Murray after he said he's playing football?
so that's
No, so here's the problem. So I don't blame the A's. So they did draft him. They knew he played football at Oklahoma. He was playing baseball at the same time. So the A's, they've always been the analytic darling, like in baseball. Like they were always obviously the Moneyball era. They were kind of like the team that initiated it. If you look at Kyler's baseball stats, you know, he batted 290. You know, he showed power. He's fast. He's fast on the football field. So he was a good base runner. Just all those things. And their analytics team, they targeted him as the 9th pick, where they thought that was like the best choice at that draft. And they picked him. And obviously they're well aware that he plays football. So they allowed him in his contract that even though he's a minor league baseball player, because he's drafted now, they let him go back and finish. Was it his junior season?
I think it was his junior year at
They
Oklahoma.
let him play his junior year, but they said that was going to be his last year. And then he goes out and has, following Baker Mayfield's Heisman year, he goes on, has an even better Heisman year. And then that's where I don't think the A's would have let him go play baseball if they thought he was going to be that good. I'm going to be honest. I mean, go play football if they thought he was going to be that good. Because if they put him out there thinking that there's a chance he might pick football as his thing, I thought they looked at, obviously, his height, little factors like that, and they're like, okay, it looks like he's going to trend towards us, so we'll just let him go out there, do what he wants to do, we'll keep him happy. And like I said, he went out there and he blew up. He literally blew up, and obviously it was a whole debate.
Do you think he'll ever pick baseball?
I don't see it. I just think football takes a greater toll on your body than baseball does.
Baseball pays.
Yeah, baseball pays though. That's the thing. But my thing is that what if it like by the time he gets to make the decision, his body's not where it was.
It's just like Russell Wilson. I mean, Russell Wilson's already, how old is he? He's been in the
He's
league
like
for
32.
Almost 10 years. Had to be.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
So I have a question though. So when that lies with like Kyler, right? Kyler got drafted before he even went into the NFL. Dion Sanders, where was he drafted? Are we aware of where he went when he was drafted?
You know, that's a good question for
Because
a
that's my
researcher.
thing. Like that's my thing though, right? Like, is it possible that someone can try to play that sport after they already made it to the NFL?
What do you mean?
Like, our prime example, right? Let's say I go play 3 years in the NFL.
Yeah.
Post college, obviously, everything like that. Can I go try to play baseball and enter the draft?
You can't enter the draft.
You can't.
I don't think you
So
can
that's
because
assuming-
you're already out of college.
So that's
because
assuming-
that's like it's like the amateur draft. So you're drafting from college or high school to professional league.
So that's assuming that Deion Sanders did get drafted before he made it to the NFL, right?
But
Technically, right?
but what are you trying to say? That's what
My
I'm trying
point
to
is that okay, like because obviously we have skilled guys in the league. So I'm saying like they already had to be playing baseball prior. Because everyone plays. I think everyone plays all the sports.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about to officially enter the draft. Obviously, it's assuming that you want a career in both. So there's no case where an athlete can decide, hey, I'm trying to play this. Like, obviously, this is completely random, completely different. But J. Cole trying to make a run at the NBA.
Don't
Something
start
like
on that.
That's something different, but like something
an
like
episode.
That's definitely two sport right
but
there.
something like that, you know, like
The
at the end of
rap
the day,
game and
he
the
wasn't
basketball
he
game.
wasn't even playing basketball these past couple of years, but he wanted to try to pursue a career. And who did that? One artist did that.
Master P.
Master P. Like that situation. Like
Yeah.
you can't do that in baseball? No?
So I'm trying to understand what you're saying. So you're saying like let's take like professional sports players out of it. Let's say someone like J. Cole wanted to play baseball. Okay?
Yes and no, because it's sports players included though. 'Cause
Yeah,
if I played 5 years in the NFL, can I be like, I want to go play baseball?
Then that's Tim Tebow's That's Tim Tebow's situation.
That's
That's what I was trying to understand because I'm like, you're talking about like basically Tim Tebow.
So
because
it's
he
possible.
basically retired from football and he went to go play with the Mets organization, but he didn't get drafted.
Yeah,
it's
he
just
never
it's like an
got
open
drafted.
tryout, or you
okay.
kind of say that you're interested, and then they're like,
Got you.
you got scouts looking out for you. So yeah, he was older. He was, how many years did he play in the NFL?
I mean,
Couldn't it be more than like 10?
He was
No,
it was definitely-
way
No, that's
less
what I'm
than
saying.
10.
It was
So-
like five.
So
years,
that's what
I
I'm
think.
saying. And he took off a few years and then he went to go try out for baseball. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can do that for sure. Like if anyone wanted to become if we wanted to be a professional baseball player, I mean, we could train for it and hope to do it. I mean, since we're still so young.
Yeah, so in that case, it's not even. It's like they don't have to get drafted, but they can go try out for the team and try to make the team.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. Just like football. I mean, football people make it out of nothing, right? Like who was the guy that worked at Foot Locker before was it Malcolm Butler? He worked at Foot Locker and then they were like, yeah, he just came to a tryout and then
Oh, I don't think it was Malcolm Butler, but
Yeah,
I know I did hear about that player. Or
yeah,
when you
I don't
look
know
at-
why I thought of Malcolm Butler.
Like one
but
of the
that's-
one of the best known is Kurt Warner. Like he was a grocery store worker before he became in the NFL.
So he
Like,
wasn't
obviously-
drafted?
No.
No.
Did he play in college?
Yeah, they had to though. Like you have to have ties like that. They're not
Yeah,
just gonna
it's
pick
like-
up someone from the street.
Yeah,
He played
I
high
mean-
school football and then he was working at a grocery store and you're like, I saw him put that in the basket
So,
and he looked like he could play
so
football.
just to answer
That
that,
looked like a nice catch
to
or a
answer
nice
that,
throw.
Dion Sanders was drafted before he made it to the NFL. He got drafted.
He was
to
drafted to the MLB.
He got drafted to the Royals in 1985. That's 4 years before he got drafted into the NFL, and then it says he decided not to sign with the Royals. He went to Florida State, played football, and then got drafted by the Yankees in 1988.
You see, but logically speaking, that makes sense because he probably got drafted to MLB right after high school.
Which
And then went straight to playing football. And obviously football, you had to stay for a couple of years because they want like your body to mature and just little stuff like that.
Well, it's just like Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick was, I think he was about to get drafted out of high school for baseball,
see, I didn't know.
and he was about he was like a star. Like he was like one of the top players like to be playing because he's from California, I think, right? That's where he's from, and he was like one of the top pitchers, and there was like a big thing like that his coaches wanted him to pick baseball, obviously because he's a baseball coach, whatever. But he wanted to play football. So
we can't even make one sport, and you have these people.
yeah, bro.
you have these people making.
you're like, I got cut from baseball. This guy's playing two.
Bro, these athletes are just insane, bro. Like obviously Patrick Mahomes, I think he was like gonna be a pitcher or something like that.
His dad
Well,
was.
that's
I mean, his dad was
his
an
dad
MLB
was an
pitcher.
A lot of the
pitcher.
time, that's what it is. I mean, you don't really see. I mean, except for Bo Jackson, Dion Sanders, they weren't pitchers, but like a lot of them, you see them being a pitcher just because it's the same form.
But look,
whatever.
and then you had Jameis Winston. He was the closer for Florida State, and he played football at the same time.
Look at this, bro. See, I gotta get my baseball knowledge up. I guess.
There's just a lot of people, and it's usually always baseball and football.
But it's definitely depending on what position you are, because obviously someone like Jameis Winston, he's a quarterback, so obviously he uses his arm, and then you're a pitcher at the same time, so then you don't want to wear out your arm. So
exactly.
you look at
and that was what was going on with Colin Kaepernick.
you look at someone like Dion Sanders, who he was a cornerback, so obviously like that you're not gonna lose skill. Obviously, there's a lot of skill to it, but it's not gonna be like you're a quarterback. If you're gonna be a quarterback, you need full time devotion to that,
Yeah.
and obviously like cornerback, it's less depending, and then obviously running back like Bo. So it's definitely depending.
So like
on
the
what-
prime example of a two-way athlete would be like, I would say probably like a DH for baseball, and like a corner for football.
I mean, yeah,
That would probably be prime.
Like mainly, like obviously, if you look at Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson, both being the like highly successful in both sports, they're both skilled positions. So it's not that like where it takes a mental toll on you with how much thinking you have to do,
Yeah.
how much studying you have to do, stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, you have to study to be good in both. But I'm saying like you said for the quarterback position, you don't see quarterbacks out there playing both too much because quarterback takes a toll on you like mentally and the preparation in football itself. So why do you feel like we don't see like NBA and basketball and football?
for me, I think it's when the season runs.
Yeah, they just don't match.
That's
They
the
just
main
match up
thing.
too closely.
That's the main thing. But that being said, any athlete out there, who do you think would be a prime two-way candidate right now? Athlete
Like today,
today, because recently we got AJ Brown of the Titans. He was actually drafted in the MLB too. He was drafted by the Padres in the 19th round. And the reason I'm bringing it up, he just put out a video recently where he tagged the Padres and he was swinging in the batting cage.
Tell me what's up.
Like basically, he was just swinging in the cage and like.
I wish we could see that today. Like I wish Kyler Murray would have took that deal. That would have been amazing to see.
I just don't think we will though. Sadly,
I don't think we will for like a few years. But there's gonna be one kid that really wants to play both. Wants to be the next Bo Jackson. Or next Dion Sanders, and he's gonna do it.
It's like when you think about it too, like obviously right now, like everyone in their respective sport is getting paid big bucks right now compared to back then. Not saying that Dion Sanders and Bo Jackson did it for more money, but like you're making so much money in that one sport. It's like why put that toll on your body?
Well, they just wanted to be great. They just wanted to like we're talking about them right now. Like that's what they wanted.
That's what I'm saying. So if you get that big contract on one sport, do you want to put your body out there for another one?
If you really love the sport,
if you do, which I just don't think it's.
If someone loves football and baseball, like they're gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna try for both.
Someone is gonna sign $100 million contract in baseball and football
at
the same time.
But okay, so back to your question, I would say Mike Trout. Mike Trout would play football and baseball.
What position would he play in football?
He's a pretty solid dude. He's a pretty solid dude.
You see, I feel like it's easier to translate a football player to baseball.
Really?
They have the athleticism, and then, like we said, I know baseball you don't have to be the most athletic.
I feel like Mike Trout is one of the most athletic players in MLB right now.
I think so for sure, but it's tough to see what position he could play because it's like, bro, it's just some people are.
He's an all around athlete, bro.
It's just some people are meant for it though, and some people aren't. Like you might see him run on base running fine, but then you put a ball in his hands and he has to juke. Like he may be too stocky to do something or something, you know? Like I don't know.
He's like, where's my glove?
But maybe now this is making me realize like when it comes to football, like I guess football is mainly the most like plug and play sport. Like obviously you have to be devoted and want to take a hit on your body and stuff like that. But like prime example, when you talk about basketball players, you say Kevin Durant could be a wide receiver, LeBron James could be a tight end, like stuff like that. I feel like you can plug in so many people in different positions, but it's like you have to see it. Like, you really have to see it. Draymond Green, prime example, bro. Yeah. That tape of Draymond Green playing football, bro, is like, yep, that's a basketball player playing football right there.
Like the same way, like you're playing pickup basketball and you know who's a football player by how physical they are, like tackling.
Maybe that's why basketball and football doesn't go hand in hand. Yeah, unless you're just a big body. Shout out to my boy Daniel Jones. He played college basketball at Duke, so.
No,
I'm kidding. I was like, he did play basketball though, like around.
I was like, Daniel Jones at Duke.
He played it around Duke.
You didn't see him throw it up to Zion, bro?
Yeah, he was teammates with Brandon Ingram.
You didn't see that?
Zion. Nah. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, you got me for a second. I was like,
yo, you should.
I was like, was he a walk on? Like, I was like, there's no way.
No, but it's pretty interesting to see. I mean, I wish we could see it today. There's two people that could definitely do it: Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray. Well, I don't want to say definitely because Russell Wilson is old.
He's a little bit older now.
But like they had the opportunity, I guess I'll say.
Yeah.
There was two opportunities for sure happen.
Be on the lookout for AJ Brown. Like I said, I know it's silly and it's random, but he did just post it recently, so who knows? Maybe he is thinking.
Maybe he's interested.
Maybe he is interested. He was a 19th round draft pick, and people are gonna laugh and wow, 19 rounds, like that's so late, but. Baseball has a lot more positions.
It's about how you get there, bro. That's all that matters.
They need a nice Dominican kid to come over. 16 years old, play about 4 years, and then he's like, "Whoa, what is football?" And then he plays football, bro.
Yo,
that would be a story.
Tell Jason Dominguez to slide to the Giants. We can use them. I'll tell you that. We could use
them. I think that could be a real opportunity though. Like a young Dominican kid comes here and he. Like, do they know what football is in Dominican Republic? Like, no, like I'm being for real. Like, I don't see that as their top sport.
Do they know what a football looks like?
No, like I think baseball and soccer is probably the two biggest sports over there.
No, they don't even play soccer over there. It's
really?
It's baseball and basketball.
Those basketball for sure.
Yeah, basketball. Yeah,
you're driving everywhere. You just see pickup basketball games. I've never seen a pickup. I drive in Florida. I've never seen a pickup baseball game. It's always like an organized.
Well, what is a pickup baseball game?
You need somebody.
They're just at a field and they're just pitching and they're just hitting and there's a crowd watching them. And it's not even teams.
That's a t-ball game.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't even t-ball. They were just setting
that's
up.
my family playing against my cousins.
For
Yo, now I feel bad for saying the Dominicans know what football is. Bro. But do they?
I'm Dominican.
You should feel bad because you said they play soccer. Like, why are you assuming they play soccer?
Nah, because
have you ever seen them in the World Cup?
Because I forgot who I spoke to, but they were like, yeah, in Puerto Rico, everyone plays soccer. I'm like, what about baseball? Like, nah, but That was not the right time. No, but no, I'm just saying like internationally, if they bring a kid over that's real young, and then they don't know what football is, and they come. And
I was gonna say, yeah,
the NFL has its own like international pathway program.
They just like they're starting to get a lot more traction on it now.
So like, for example,
who's Dominican in the NFL?
See, I don't want to go specifically Dominican.
I want to go. Who's Dominican in the NFL?
Well, I forgot his name, but there was a lineman.
You're like Brian Flores.
No.
No, bro, no.
There was a lineman.
I just want to know why his name is Flores.
There was a. He's got to have some Spanish in there.
But I don't know, dog. But
That's a real question.
I just think the international, like, obviously the point is getting international.
Oh man, I don't know why that killed.
You say Coach Rivera. Where's the Spanish? Flores.
Oh man, that killed me.
But yeah, man.
The NFL does have that program. So the Patriots, they have his name is Jakob Johnson. He's a fullback.
Sorry, yo, Jakob. I'm sorry.
He's
dog.
a fullback,
bro.
And
where?
He came from Germany. So
Why is that funny?
He's like Überraschung. If you didn't know, we all took German. So.
Ich habe ein Football.
Was ist Lieben?
Oh man, we love you, Deutschland. We love you. We love you.
To all our German viewers.
we're gonna be played in Germany, and we're gonna be stars over there.
Oh, we should have done that this episode. Ich habe Christian Rivera.
Oh.
Yeah, man, that's where I stay with that. Nah, shout out to the two sport athletes, man.
Yeah, man, everywhere. New and old. Bo Jackson, Dion Sanders, the GOATs of it by far.
Have paved the path for the younger generation to be able to do
Hopefully to do one day again. Hopefully. Have a World Series champion and a Super Bowl champion play in the two leagues. That would be amazing.
That'll be crazy. Dion almost did it, but
He almost didn't.
if someone does it again, that'll definitely be all-time moment. Especially Dion was even able. He played the football game and he flew to Atlanta. He didn't play in the World Series game, but if someone's able to do both, that would be just all-time crazy.
That would be something. But other than that, you guys got anything else?
As you already know, you know what I'm here for. The Balls in Your Face podcast on Instagram, BIYF, the podcast on Twitter, and Balls in Your Face, the podcast on TikTok. Make sure you follow. Make sure you over here commenting. Let us know what we doing, man. Let us know how we doing. If you can like the content, if you don't, or if you have any suggestions, let us know, dog. We'll take it into consideration.
Flores, dog. I'm Christian Rivera.
I'm Joshua Ramos.
I'm Azil Hernandez.
Bye.